Zeus's lightning bolt came in the first inning last night. Jesus Guzman hitting .465 with runners in scoring position this season propelled the Pods to a 3-1 win. Wade LeBlanc earned his first Major League win in a year with a victory at Cincinnati in his last start. The lefty has gone 6 innings in each of his last 3 starts. They're pokey and Gumby, darn it, and they'd love to fillet the fish one more time. Happy Friday and welcome to Petco Park. Tonight it is game 2 of a 4-game series between the Florida Marlins and the San Diego Padres. We welcome you at Mark Neely with Mark Grant. Padres take game 1 of this series last night, 3-1. Defense was a key. There was the play Logan FORSYTHE made on the Bonifacio bunt. Cameron MAYBIN made a tumbling catch in center field. This team has really stepped it up defensively in the last month or so.
They really have, and when you're a team that doesn't score a lot of runs, the Padres rank 11th in runs scored in the National League, you're going to have to button up the defense and not give away any extra outs. Last night, Tim Stauffer, he's got to make good pitches, but once the ball leaves his hand, guess what? He is a fielder, and the athletic right-hander kind of stumbles a little bit but gets the job done. This is one of the better plays you're going to see a third baseman make in the National League. Logan FORSYTHE charges hard, throws a P-rod to first base, and then Cameron MAYBIN, Daddy Longlegs, got him working, tumbling dice, Rolling Stones reference, makes the grab in center field, and you've got to button up. But since the All-Star break, the Padres have been flashing gold gloves.
Yeah, very nice defense, the third best defensive percentage in Major League Baseball since the All-Star break. The unearned runs are down. The Padres have allowed only 1 unearned run in their last 21 games.
If the Padre pitching staff can continue to make good quality pitches, put the ball in play, take their chances that way, they've been pretty darn good lately with the glove.
Bud Black was very complimentary of that play that FORSYTHE made last night. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup for this game. It is Chris VOLSTAD going for the Florida Marlins. He is 2-0 in 2 career starts here at Petco Park. And Wade LeBlanc's current run of 3 consecutive quality starts equals the longest such streak of his career. The pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Big league start number 7 in the big league season for Wade LeBlanc. We have the starting lineups and the first pitch from Petco straight ahead. Mike Stanton, a late scratch from the Florida lineup. He banged up his left foot and left big toe chasing a ball at the auxiliary scoreboard last night, so he's a late scratch. That puts John Buck in the 3 spot in the order, just behind Gabby Sanchez, who was the Marlins' lone representative in Phoenix at the All-Star game this year. He is their leader in total hits. Padres starting pitching profile brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer.
Left-hander Wade LeBlanc making his 7th start of the season, and for Wade LeBlanc, it's the 5th time that he has been up and down with the Padres this year. He's got a string of 3 quality starts. The adjustment he has made mechanically, he's going over his head now. Right there, rather than just at the chest.
And we are underway. First pitch inside to Emilio Bonifacio. Switch hitting Bonifacio, batting .324 from this side of the plate, right-handed. Clearing 68 degrees at game time tonight at Petco Park. Taking the 2-0 pitch, a strike.
It's got to be frustrating for a guy like Wade LeBlanc. My goodness, 5th stint this year with the Padres. You got to keep a good head on your shoulders, don't you think? And keep a good attitude. He has done just that.
It's been a yo-yo up and down, as you say, and has taken advantage, especially this time around. Coming back, last 3 starts, as you mentioned, have all been quality starts, which is 6 innings or more, 3 runs or less, and he's gone 6 innings each of his last 3 starts. Paints the outside corner, and after falling behind 2-0, LeBlanc fans Bonifacio, and that's the way this game begins. Look at the Padre defense behind LeBlanc tonight. It's Blanks in center with MAYBIN. I should say MAYBIN in center, flanked by Blanks in left and Venable in right. Forsythe and Guzman on the corners, and Bartlett and Hudson up the middle with Hundley catching. Ball 1 to Gabby Sanchez, the Marlins' first baseman.
You know, I think the velocity is up a little bit also for LeBlanc. I know it's only the 6th pitch. I just think he's being more aggressive with his fastball, not trying to nitpick as much as being the, you know, soft tossing left-hander.
And living on that changeup.
That's right.
Fell behind Bonifacio 2-0. Now he's 2-0 on Gabby Sanchez. And the fastball at 88 is a strike. Sanchez in the opener of the series last night was 1 for 4.
It might be a break for San Diego at not having Mike Stanton in the lineup, huh?
Could be a very big break, especially the power threat that Stanton is, 2nd in the National League in homers with 29. And we saw him hit a ball last night in the first inning that was absolutely tattooed. But Jack McKeon scratched him 20 minutes before first pitch. It's a 5-pitch walk to Sanchez. He's going to bring up John Buck, who went deep last night. Our Cold Hard Blast presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. This one goes 447 feet to left center field, clearing the Padres bullpen by 20.
You don't see too many balls hit out there.
No.
You don't throw that's a big league hang with them, though, because the Padres end up winning anyway.
That was the only run of the game for the Marlins.
So how do you like them apples?
Gets under that one. A high pop-up on the right side. Hudson waiting for it to come down as he gets onto the infield grass and makes the catch. We're 2 away in the inning. Here's the cleanup hitter, 3rd baseman Greg Dobbs. Marlins still without Omar Infante, who they expect may be back as soon as tomorrow off the disabled list. Hanley Ramirez on the DL with a bad shoulder. Interesting move by the Marlins today. Chris Coughlin, who was the NL Rookie of the Year a few years ago, finished his rehab assignment. They activated him and then sent him down to AAA New Orleans. Marlins have made some interesting roster moves recently. Of course, last weekend the big to-do was about Logan Morrison going down after supposedly Twitter even becoming involved, perhaps.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Which the team denied that was the reason that he was sent down. They released Wes Helms. There's a strike to Dobbs.
You know, usually you list guys on the DL are getting sent down. Well, he's on the 15-day DL for a pulled hamstring, right? Or he was sent down because he was twittering too much.
His social media was just out of hand.
Yeah.
So we had to send him down to AAA. Wonder how the twittering is going in New Orleans, which is where the Marlins AAA team is located.
Well, you know, we laugh at that, but there are actually people who go around and talk on behalf of Major League Baseball to the young kids in camp saying, hey, you know what, the social media stuff, once you say it, it's out there.
You know, bringing it back.
You got to be careful what you do.
You can delete it, but it still was out there.
Right.
Sanchez at first with 2 outs and a 1-2 pitch from LeBlanc to Greg Dobbs. To left center field and a base hit. Gabby Sanchez to second, a single for Dobbs, and it's 2 on, 2 outs. Well, talking about twittering and the social media, Padre fans, there are many ways to connect with your Padres, including on Twitter at twitter.com/SDPadres. You can become a Padre fan on Facebook at facebook.com/Padres, or read all the latest team news with Padres blogs at Padres.com. Don't miss any of the action from your San Diego Padres.
Yeah, that's where all the good stuff is. That's what you check into.
In social media responsibly. Strike to Jose Lopez.
Good first pitch changeup to Lopez. Runner in scoring position. Rather than challenging him with a fastball, he pulls the string and throws it for a strike. Nicely done.
Social media. This coming from Mark Grant, who learned he was a first-round pick of the Giants off his transistor radio.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How far we've come. 0-1 pitch to Lopez. He rips it to left field. Blanks into the corner, and that ball's over his head, and one hops the fence. Sanchez scoring. They're going to stop Dobbs at third as it's quickly played in by Blanks. But it's an RBI double for Jose Lopez, and it's the Marlins that score in the first inning. Florida's a team that's been haunted on their pitching side of giving up too many runs in the first inning, but it's the Marlins who score first in the first tonight.
Looked like another off-speed pitch. Nick Cunley wants it down. Actually, you know what? It was a fastball. A fastball. It was down, and Lopez, he goes down and gets that pitch. Very aggressive, these Florida Marlin hitters. They can be very aggressive. And they are on the board first.
We'll need to stop it right here. Here's Mike Cameron. No base hit here could make it a 3-run first. So LeBlanc facing the former Padre, who had 91 at bats with Florida's hitting a little over 200. There's that off-speed pitch. LeBlanc with his changeup had Cameron way out in front. Cameron last night 0 for 4. Pretty good located fastball on 0-2, a little low.
And at 89, he's topped out at 89 here early in this ball game. Good numbers for Wade LeBlanc here at Petco Park over his career. 19 starts. He's got a 2.72 ERA.
That gets Cameron looking. So back to that fastball. Another one clocked at 89. And LeBlanc records his second strikeout of the first inning. But the Marlins get a run in the top half, and the Padres are coming up. trailing as the Marlins pick up a run on a Jose Lopez RBI double. First pitch to Venable outside. Will at 260. Checks his swing. Volstad asking for the appeal down to third base umpire Tony Randazzo, who says he did not go around. Three and 0.
Boy, they like their big pitchers in Florida, don't they?
They like the power arms.
Wow.
You know, we've talked
That's
about
the way they draft a lot.
They do. And we've talked about the injuries. One we haven't mentioned, of course, is Josh Johnson. He's been out a good chunk of the season as well. 4-pitch walk to Venable to begin the Padres first. Let's take a look at the Padre lineup, brought to you by Evans Tires and Service Centers, home of the free alignment. Venable, then Bartlett, MAYBIN, Jesus Guzman batting in the cleanup spot. 8 RBIs in his last 4 games and just absolutely unconscious with runners in scoring position. Then Hudson, Blanks, Hundley catching, Forsythe at third. Same lineup as last night with the exception of swapping out the starting pitchers, LeBlanc hitting ninth. Volstad concerned about Venable, and rightfully so.
Well, the big 6'8" right-hander. He's got a good big frame working downhill from that 6'8" frame. Last 6 starts, though, in each of his last 6 starts, more hits than innings pitched. So working out of the stretch quite a bit.
First pitch breaking ball down low to Jason Bartlett.
That looked like it was a slider. Along with that slider, it was a fastball curve and a change. Tops out about 92, 93.
There goes Venable. Bartlett shows bunt, takes a strike, and John Buck late with the throw down to second as Venable swipes his 23rd base in 26 attempts.
We mentioned big frame. What kind of leg kick? It's a belt high leg kick from Volstad, and Buck kind of pulls that one on the shortstop side of second base and chalk up another King Stallman stolen base for Will Venable.
Just like that, tying run in scoring position for Bartlett, and they tighten up at the infield corners. Breaking ball down low.
You know, in a perfect world, after scoring in the top half of the first, Jack McKeon and his fish, they want to shut down the Padres. 1, 2, 3, quickly, get it done, get in, get out. Leadoff walk, yeah, that'll make you take off your hat and scratch your head. And now the stolen base. With a guy like Bartlett up at the plate, you know, he swings that bat well, right? Uses the whole field. Look at that.
Gives himself up with the ground ball to the right side. Sanchez steps on the bag, but Venable over to third with 1 out. The Marlins defense tonight brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Cameron, AMEZAGA, and Petersen in the outfield. Again, Mike Stanton, a late scratch. So that's altered things on the outfield corners for the Marlins.
Was that a perfect piece of hitting right there by Jason Bartlett?
And this is a cliche. You know, it's one of those that doesn't show up in the box score, but guys on the bench notice when you give yourself up like that. First pitch to MAYBIN down low. Marlins scored a run in the first tonight, but as I mentioned, Jack McKeon's team, and especially since Jack McKeon has taken over, and prior to him, Edwin Rodriguez, they've just given up way too many runs in the first inning. Only the Royals. That ball is belted into center field, and a base hit will bring in Venable, and just like that, MAYBIN ties it with his 33rd RBI, and that first inning bug bites the fish again.
You know, you get the sense, you get the feeling with this Padre team lately that after being down a run, and I'll be the first to admit, when they were down a run or two early on, I was like, okay, you know, well, what's going to happen? You're getting the sense now that if they're down a run or two, they got a chance to fight back early, and looky there. Tied it up at 1 apiece, and still only 1 out.
MAYBIN not wasting any time. They pitch out, and even with the pitch out, they did get it. close. Head first slide. First look, I thought maybe he got that left hand in, Mud, but we'll take another look.
I thought the tag was down by the belt buckle on the backside. I thought the throw was a little high, but I like the aggressiveness here. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't even close to the belt buckle, was it? I thought I got safe.
Yeah, I think it tagged him on the upper chest, but
I thought his hand was in there.
The left hand was in there.
Yeah. And once again, bang, bang, very close.
Yeah. That's only the 4th time Maybin's been caught stealing this year. He's been stealing him at over a 90% success rate. Buck throwing out only 17% attempted against him prior. The base is empty now for Guzman with 2 outs and a 2-2 count.
They smelled it though. Pitch out, huh?
Hit him with the pitch out. He almost beat it. 2-2 to Jesus. Slider in the dirt. Guzman had the big hit last night, which came in the first inning. A 2-run triple. Padres have gone a little triple crazy here recently.
I like it.
Trio of them. First strikeout for Volstad. And it ends the Padre first, but San Diego ties it with a run on a hit. We played one here at Petco, and it's 1-1. Strike to Brian Petersen. He's going to get the start in left field, but moves over to right field with Mike Stanton, the late scratch for the Marlins. Bottom 3 for the Fish here. The breaking ball just gets a piece to foul of it, and it's 0-2.
Hey, by the way, coming to the ballpark, one of my favorite things is to listen to the national anthem.
Right?
I always love to hear the different types of renditions.
Good one tonight.
How about Elena Smith tonight from 100.7 Jack FM? A great job by Elena. How you doing?
0-2 pitch. So you're suggesting that not only did she sing the song well, but she looked good doing it. The 1-2 pitch. That's belted in the air to right field. Venable back towards the track. It's over his head and off the auxiliary scoreboard. Petersen scoots into second with a leadoff double, his 8th two-base hit of the season.
These guys like to swing the bat, don't they?
They're aggressive, man.
They are very aggressive, these Florida Marlins. And you know, a good aggressive swing from lefty on lefty. That ball was in. Petersen keeps that front shoulder in there, about halfway up that auxiliary scoreboard.
Leadoff man is aboard for Alfredo AMEZAGA. He goes up there, first pitch hacking, and fouls it back. Oh, off the hands. Got to bring the glove to the yard.
I was just going to say, did they have the glove with them?
Didn't have the mitt.
Got to bring the mitt. Right back in that same section.
Don't tell me the same guy got another opportunity. Thought lightning never struck twice. Same spot. It does. 0-2 pitch. Went down after it. That is foul behind the back. Alfredo AMEZAGA, who last year only played in one game, and that was in the minor leagues for AA Chattanooga in the Dodgers organization. He had an injury. In fact, he had surgery not only on one knee, but both knees. Ooh. Former Angel. Now 33 years old. Spent parts of 3 seasons with the Angels when he came up. This is his second stint with the Marlins. About 3 seasons with him. 06 through 09.
He was labeled like that super utility type guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, when he came up, he played primarily shortstop, didn't he? And then a little second base, and now he's seeing some time in the outfield. Versatile player. Began the season with the Rockies. Played some of the big leagues with them this year, and then was traded to the Marlins on August 5th. AMEZAGA noteworthy that when he was with the Angels in 2004, he had 4 extra base hits in 73 games, which obviously is not a high total. But 2 of the extra base hits were grand slams. So half his extra base hits that year were grannies. Off the end of the bat, lifted to medium left center field. MAYBIN with the catch and playing halfway. Petersen goes back to second.
So we talked about it last night. The Marlins having a new look next year along with the new ballpark.
They'll be the Miami Marlins.
Right, and how that ballpark is going to play, because it's going to have a retractable roof.
But it'll be totally enclosed. It's not like Safeco Field where it has open panels. They need the AC in there. They say when you will look from the home plate area and the press box out towards center field, you'll see downtown Miami in that direction. So the ballpark will face east towards the ocean. Broken bat. VOLSTAD to right. Venable with the catch. So Petersen, who began the inning with a double, is at second with 2 outs on the top of the order coming up.
Wade LeBlanc hitting his spots and the defense playing accordingly. Down and away off the end of the bat, shallow to right field, and Will Venable was playing shallow. So 2 quick outs after that double.
Emilio Bonifacio led off the game with the count in his favor at 2-0, and LeBlanc came back and struck him out looking. Bonifacio, the National League Player of the Month for July. Led the NL in hitting at .380 for the month and led the majors with 16 stolen bases. And of course, during that month, in his 26-game hitting streak, which ended on July 29th. Two 2-0 count this time on Bonifacio. .34th pitch of this game from Wade LeBlanc. Up and away, 3-0.
Working under the changeup. 2-0 Cambio.
What's that tell you?
Doesn't want to give him much to hit. Maybe if you walk him here, you got to force it into base. You got the righty Buck coming up, or Sanchez rather, from the right side. Righty. Hey, now you've got to force it into base.
So a 4-pitch walk to Bonifacio. The second walk allowed by LeBlanc. The other walk came to Sanchez. It will come up here, and Sanchez scored the Marlins run in the first. Hundley trots out to coordinate with LeBlanc.
And Darren Balsley's going to have a chat. I think Nick went out there to talk about signs.
Yes.
It was a very short meeting. Now, last time up, Sanchez, he walked. This might be, hey, you know, first pitch. I'm guessing something off speed. I'm guessing backdoor breaking ball. And Buddy writes down all his notes on his lineup card there.
Bud was in good spirits before the game, as usual. He was talking playing days in the Jayhawk League for Clarinda, Iowa. Wow. We went back a ways with our pregame chat today. There he goes with the first pitch curveball.
Yep. You can see more and more of that from a starting pitch, even in a reliever. A runner in scoring position. You know, these guys love the fastball, right? So they put a little wrinkle in it. Like a little cut fastball from Wade. The Jayhawk League, huh?
Can you name some of the cities in the Jayhawk League?
Gosh, Liberal, Kansas.
Liberal's in there. Hutchinson, Kansas. Nevada, Missouri.
Thriving metropolises.
Yeah. Got him to reach for that changeup.
Making Sanchez look sick up there at the plate with that changeup down and away. Now the count is in his favor. Way out in front of it. That'll hurt the back a little bit. Bring it to your knees.
Two on, two outs in the Florida second in a 1-1 games. Wade took off a couple of signs. Now he's ready.
Backdoor something.
Grounded to the right side, and Orlando Hudson. Leadoff double by Peterson. And a 2-out walk to Bonifacio. They're both stranded. It's 1-1. Good point of the second. Padres honor the all-time saves leader Trevor Hoffman in a special pregame retirement ceremony. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime event Get your tickets before they're gone at Padres.com/Trevor. And we ask that you be here in your seats by 12:30. Everything will get underway.
That's going to be a good one.
Oh, can't wait.
I'm getting here early. I'm going to be here about 6.
For those of you that cannot make it, we'll have all the festivities for you here on Channel 4. And Luke Yoder and his crew have added that logo on each side in foul ground. Concert tonight after the game. George Spindler. Or tomorrow, I should say. Right. And then the retirement on Sunday. Fireworks tonight. These 4-game series kind of throw me sometimes.
Yeah, they do me as well. And it's a great weekend for baseball, huh? A little country and Western music.
You like them both, do you?
Yeah. Got a nice retirement celebration Sunday.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2.
Having your number retired, is that something else?
Doesn't get better than that. Well, the numbers on top of the hitter's backdrop have been covered now for a while to add to a little of that drama. Volstad, it's his second strikeout, fanning O'Dog to begin the second. He's got the Trevor jersey on. Got a pretty sneaking suspicion that the number 51 is under one of those on the far right side.
Yeah, I think it's the second one from the right.
Is it? That's
yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking, because see how the last one's wider? 42 is a little wider than 51. That's just my educated guess, logical guess.
Well, we'll find out on Sunday if your educated guess bears fruit. Oh, one pitch to Blanks, fouled out of play. So you're saying just by looking at that, you think the number 6 is still on the far left because that's the skinniest?
Correct. See 6?
Yeah.
19.
But you think 51's under? That's pulled foul.
No, the second from the right.
For the right. There we go. That one right there. But you say the 51 is on. That's the farthest right one on the right of the screen.
Well, yeah, right there. You can see the one a little bit. See it?
So much for the secrets. Of course, there's a 19 under there as well. It'll be fun on Sunday. 1-2 to Kyle Blanks. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Volstad as he gets Blanks on a slider. 2 outs.
Orlando Hudson on a fastball up and away, and now Blanks with the breaky ball. So the slider being the out pitch for Volstad against righties, and good location as well. That has some tremendous tilt to it. Knee buckler from the belt buckle to the knees on the outside part of the plate.
Here's the catcher, Nick Hundley. Another triple last night for Nick. That one's to center field. Cameron back into his left. Side retired. Padres go in order in the second. After 2 for Petco Park, the Marlins and Padres are tied at 1. Your Padres play the Rockies Friday, September 2nd at 7:05, and stay for the always great Friday night fireworks show presented by Northgate Gonzalez Market. Visit Padres.com today for your tickets. To the third inning. 1 run, 3 hits for the Marlins. Padres 1 run, 1 hit. Marlins have stranded 2 men on base in each of the first 2 innings. We have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up, and John Buck, who popped out to Orlando Hudson in the first, leads off. Buck's homer last night was his 15th. That's the 3rd highest home run total for a major league catcher. JP Arancibia of Toronto and Brian McCann of Atlanta, the other 2 that rank higher as far as the long ball this year for major league catchers.
So how do you counter from John Buck hitting a home run? Well, last night was a fastball, it looked like, right? He got his first pitch fastball over for a strike, Wade LeBlanc did, and then soft stuff after that, changeup. And that's my point there. The fastball makes him move his feet. I think that's the only fastball he's going to see, the first one for a strike. Off speed him to death from this point.
1-2 pitch. Off the outside corner with a slider. Buck's home run last night again went 447 feet. Bounces out just to the right of second. Hudson was cheating up the middle and throws him out for the first out of the third. Marlins have made Petco Park at times look small. Let's take you back. Dan Uggla, June 11th of 06. That's off Scott Cassidy. See where that hits? The spot shadow?
Man.
Up in the 3rd deck of the Western Metal Building. It's tough to tell, though, balls down the line because of the Western Metal Building, the distance, because that Uggla home run you just saw was only measured at 417 feet, which seems very conservative.
Obviously, it's where, you know, some of these ballparks, they estimate where it would land.
Right, instead of where it exactly hits.
This is where it exactly hits, right?
That's what I'm assuming, because that's why it's only 417.
Right.
You assume that it would have gone
correct
much further than that.
Yeah, that's a bolt.
Oh, 2 to Greg Dobbs. He's upstairs with a fastball. One-two pitch. Towards first and caught by Jesus Guzman, moving to his left. Well, Mike Stanton, who was a scratch tonight, was one he hit last year. This is July 31st of last year off Kevin Correa. This one, just above the Seimer sign into the second deck. That one went at 430 feet. Even though the 401 sign is below it and to the right.
Right. Now that seems right. If that's 401, you take a tape measure, and you know that's.
It does seem to be a bit of an inexact, I'll call it science, but measurement. Strike call on Lopez. Two outs, nobody on in the Marlins' third.
Farthest home run you ever saw?
I was just going to ask you that same thing.
Well, the one I saw was Barry Bonds off of Dennis Tankersley at Qualcomm. It hit the scoreboard. The big screen out in right field up above the seats at Qualcomm hit.
So that's what, probably close to 500 feet?
It was ridiculous.
Towering pop fly. Does Hundley see it in the twilight? He does. And in fair territory in front of the plate. Makes the catch. Down in order go the Fish in the third. Brought to you by the 9 Honda dealers of San Diego County. Stop by and test drive the all-new redesigned 2012 Civic and check out the latest offers on the full lineup of Hondas. Mark Neely with Mark Grant from Petco Park. Girl Scouts are here tonight. Welcome, ladies. In fact, I think the pink cap they have is the same shade of pink as your tie tonight.
Really? I'm a big pink.
Yes,
pink fan.
It's evident.
Real men wear pink. Rocking the pink socks too to match the tie.
Yeah.
You have to accessorize. Come on.
You pull it off. I'll give you that. 0-2 pitch to Logan Forsythe. Down to the dirt. Bud was talking about Logan before the game, and in particular that bare hand play he made on the bunt by Bonifacio last night. He said, hey, Logan, that was as good a play as you'll see on that type of bunt.
Absolutely no question, because as hard as he charged that ball, to catch it cleanly, get a good handle on it, and then throw, when your momentum's going towards home plate and you have to throw to first base, this is one of the better plays of third baseman in American National League you're ever going to see all year, I think.
It was well executed. But said, hey, he's doing what we expected there. Good defender. We like his versatility as well. And what makes it the throw. Man, it got a lot on it. It was perfect to Guzman. That play doesn't look so good if you make the bare hand pickup and then throw it down the right field line.
Absolutely. He's battling here. He was in the hole 0-2 to VOLSTAD. Throwing a heavy dose of sliders down and away. Let's see if he tries to challenge him with a fastball.
3-2 pitch. Comes off the 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Padres' second-round pick in 2008 out of the University of Arkansas. Got in his kitchen there.
Yeah.
That fastball, and the strikeout is the 4th for Chris VOLSTAD.
Good movement on the fastball from VOLSTAD. Buck wants it down and away, but because of the movement, that was about 92, 93. That's a tough one to lay off. Any hitter that's coming in, it looks like a good old fat fastball. While belt buckle high, rides up in and in on you.
Pitcher Wade LeBlanc takes a fastball that is high. 1 for 9 this season.
Did you see his Tucson numbers? Hitting?
He can handle the bat.
18 games for the Tucson Padres.
Hit like almost 400, wasn't
381.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got the guy who pitched at Alabama, following the guy who played at Arkansas. We have the SEC well represented.
Yeah.
With a Princeton guy on deck. Breaking ball down low.
So we have a Razorback, a Tide, and a Tiger.
Very good. The fastball fans LeBlanc 5 Ks. He has fanned 5 of the last 6 Padre hitters.
Looks like VOLSTAD has fallen into some type of a groove after that first inning. Retired now 6 in a row.
They talked about LeBlanc going up and down this year. Really, Chris VOLSTAD's experienced the same with the Marlins. Back and forth between AAA and New Orleans. Top of the order, Will Venable. He walked in the first, stole a base, and later scored the Padres run. Slow roller to third. Dobbs, who was playing in, charges, throws. Safe. The throw brought Sanchez off the bag. Williams' speed helps him leg out an infield hit.
The glove hand grab, see the glove hand grab, and then a little bit of a bobble. And that's a tough play for Dobbs. At third base, he's not usually a third baseman.
Yeah, I said hit initially, and we'll see how they score. They haven't. They're going to give it an error. But I think when you're throwing off your,
you know what,
foot like Dobbs was, that's not a routine play.
I agree with you. I was going to give him a hit on that. That's what I initially thought.
Long look, and then
maybe the official score is looking at saying he gloved it right with his glove hand. He had time to gather himself.
And that's an important point there, Mud. Did he have time to perhaps settle for a better throw?
Right.
Square up more. Will has to dive back. Venable picked up his 23rd steal of the year in the first inning. I think balls can be played into a hit.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's the case there.
Yeah.
Maybe he did have time, but with the play that he made, or tried to make, it did not look routine. But it went as an error on Dobbs, his 7th of the season. Volstad and the Marlins concerned about this Padres running game. Padres 148 stolen bases this year, far and away the most in the National League. The Mets, the next closest at 109. You mentioned Dobbs having to play third base with all the different injuries. Dobbs really, his reputation has been as a pinch hitter the last few years. So getting more time defensively, playing at third base. He's played a lot of outfield as well, Dobbs has. We talked about the success rate of MAYBIN this year, even though Cam was thrown out after a pitch out in the first inning. MAYBIN's around 90% success rate. Venables is pretty darn good himself, 23 of 26. Just fouled past third. It's 88% success rate for Venable.
Jason Bartlett is foul line to foul line, is he not?
He can pepper them both.
Absolutely. He turned on that pitch, flirting with an extra base hit down the third base line. He'll duck snort one down the right field line with the best of them.
Hit a ground ball to the right side his first time up to advance Venable from second to third, and Will later scored on the MAYBIN base hit. Volstad holding it, stepping off. With 2 outs. I think Will's edging to go here.
I would think so. Be aggressive.
Bounce to third. Dobbs the pickup. This time has plenty of time to throw hop and throw out Jason Bartlett. A 2-out error and a man left on. That's the first base runner stranded by the Padres tonight. AT&T Wireless. And tonight's question: I promise we do have a question for you, which we'll show you in just a moment as Mike Cameron leads off the Florida fourth inning. First pitch, he whacks into left field for a base hit. A curveball that Wade hung, and Cameron jumped all over it.
You got it right. That was a hanger. That one was like just rolling up there. Didn't have any bite to it. And from a pitcher standpoint, yeah, sometimes you want to throw that breaking ball up there, the first pitch, just to give the guy a look-see. But Mike Cameron was all over it.
Marlins put the leadoff man on base for the second time. And here's right fielder BRYAN, who doubled leading off the second. Now to play left side. Petersen with his double in the second now has a 5-game hitting streak. Base hit by Cameron ends a string of 4 in a row retired by LeBlanc. And he had retired 6 of the last 7 Florida hitters. Check swing, ball outside, appeal asked for. Denied by the third base umpire, Tony Randazzo. Who'd you say last night? Steve Finley? Is that the guy that comes to mind when you look at Petersen?
Petersen reminds me a little of Steve Finley.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a good call. Center field, and Cameron MAYBIN right there. 1 out. Let's get to that trivia question brought to you by AT&T Wireless. And tonight's question: which member of the Marlins coaching staff is the son of a baseball Hall of Famer? And no, Jack McKeon's dad is not in the Hall of Fame. That's the only hint we'll give you. Alfredo AMEZAGA, the left fielder, fly to MAYBIN in center field, back in the second. Who was after the first pitch? Well, they are aggressive.
Yes, they are.
Hudson wanting it out in short right field. Called out Venable. 2 outs. Jack McKeon, by the way, said he enjoys coming back to San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good memories here. It was funny because, of course, Padre radio announcer Jerry Coleman was fired by Jack McKeon. And Jerry said, you know what's the best thing that ever happened to me was Jack firing me to get me back in the broadcast booth.
Always good for a good quote, Jack McKeon.
And those two, the Colonel and Trader Jack, had a chance to chat yesterday. Have a laugh about that. Pitcher Chris Volstad fly to right field in his first at bat. And he lines one to the alley in left center field. This could be trouble with Cameron, the lead runner, all the way to the fence. Cameron around third. He'll score easily. And the pitcher Volstad with just his second RBI of the season, and it gives the Marlins a 2-1 lead.
Ouch. You know, after that ball split the gap, I specifically isolated on Mike Cameron.
He's still got some wheels.
My goodness. I tell you what, right there, I knew that I saw Cameron, or I saw MAYBIN 24, and I immediately looked to Mike Cameron, and he was scooting.
He was. I did the same thing, and was thinking that he's getting around the bases pretty well.
Man.
Top of the order, Emilio Bonifacio. He fanned to begin the game and then walked in the second.
Look at those hacks. Oh. Coming out of their shoes.
By the way, that double for Volstad is just the second extra base hit of his career. That's to right field. Venable comes in, though, to make the catch. Bonifacio lines out to right, but Volstad helps his own cause with an RBI double, and at the midpoint of the fourth, it's 2-1 Florida. Special post-game concert after the Padres take on Arizona Sunday, September 18th at 1:05. The concert is free for all fans with a paid ticket for Sunday's game. Oh, wait, get your tickets at Padres.com/concerts /Switchfoot as well. Into the home half of the fourth, a 2-1 Florida lead. Chris Volstad, his second extra base hit in the last 2 seasons in the big leagues, has given the Marlins a 1-run lead. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for San Diego, and leading off center fielder Cameron Maybin.
You know, I look at that hit from Volstad. He beat the shift as well. He went down and got a pitch because Cameron Maybin was playing on the second base side, right?
Yeah.
Up second base.
Ball 1 low to Cam. Maybin signaled to center in the first, driving in Venable with the Padres run, and with that base hit now is a 7-game hitting streak. The base hit by Maybin is the only Padres hit so far tonight, as Florida has 5 of the game's 6 hits. Breaking ball up high, 2-1.
And as I mentioned, when Volstad towed the slab in the first inning, his last 6 starts, more hits than innings pitched in those starts, and only 1 hit for the Padres up to this point.
Ground ball right to the shortstop, Bonifacio. One away in the Padres' 4th. Cleanup hitter Jesus Guzman, the first baseman, was a strikeout victim in the first. Nice numbers for Jesus. His last 9, hitting nearly 350. Wrote to short, pass Bonifacio and into left field. Guzman singles with 1 out. Boy, he got a good handle on that one.
First pitch fastball. And I'm thinking Guzman is thinking, you know what? If I get the first pitch heater, I'm going to be all over it. Volstad has thrown the curveball. He has thrown the slider. Haven't seen many changeups. A rare pitch from Chris Volstad. So he's thinking, you know what? I'm going to jump all over the fastball. I don't want to be in the hole and have to deal with that off-speed stuff.
May be mistaken here. I can't recall a changeup yet tonight.
I have not seen one.
Hudson fanned his first time. One on, one out in the Padres' fourth, trailing by a run. Maybe a little bit low.
That's close. That's a pitch I want. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure that very same thought is running through the mind of Chris Volstad at this moment. Can't forget about Guzman at first. He's swiped all 7 bases he has attempted as a Padre. Fouled right near the plate. Volstad wipes off some perspiration.
There's a changeup, looks like.
First one of the night that I can recall.
You know, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen too many.
He must throw the circle change because that had a pretty good tail away from Hudson.
Yep.
.68 right-hander Chris Volstad, who's from the Miami area. Born in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, still lives there. Marlins took him in the first round back in 2005. He was the 16th overall selection that year. Out of Palm Beach Gardens High School. Volstad won his last 6 decisions a year ago. And he gets Hudson looking. 6th strikeout for Volstad.
Like a backdoor slider. That's exactly what it was. Good frame job by John Buck. The idea there from the right-handed pitcher to the left-handed hitter, you know, they see that pitch. It looks like it's going to be away. They give up on it, and then bang, hits that outside corner for the ponchado.
Volstad to Blanks off the outside corner. Volstad, by the way, won 12 games last year, 12-9. Marlins have done a pretty good job at drafting those power arms.
Big and strong. Good footwork right there by Volstad for 6'8". You know, quick pivot on his throw to first base.
One out single by Jesus Guzman. He's at first with 2 outs.
Oh,
Blanks launches one deep left, way back into the second deck. Kyle Blanks gets a hold of one and gives the Padres a 3-2 lead. I thought that ball may actually even go further than it actually did, but he hit that a long way still.
I'm right there with you. When that ball was hit, I thought it was going to be about halfway up the second deck or maybe farther. But look how high this ball, it's a breaking ball. Look at the trajectory of the ball off the bat. I mean, that's a no-doubter. It was just a matter of how far it was going to go up that second deck. I thought it was going to be much farther than that. It's still a 2-run shot. Man, put a notch in that match lately. Nice going, Kyle Blanks. Hanging slider.
Yeah, and his 4th home run, which for VOLSTAD is the Marlins team leading 20th home run he's given up this year. I still 88.
Yeah, I still think he has the potential of, getting really close to that scoreboard out there.
I'm there with you, and has the potential to be a 25-30 home run guy if things just click
no
for him.
Question. I mean, you look at how high that ball was hit. That's at 393, they're saying on the scoreboard. If he kind of flattens that one out a little bit,
that's 425, 430 or more.
Exactly.
Well, Kyle Blanks has helped turn the game around here in the 4th with a long home run to the second deck in left. After 4, it's now the Padres 3 and the Marlins 2.
Mid-game recap from Petco Park brought to you by Murray Lamper Construction.
Ball line to left field. Kyle Blanks runs it down.
Hey, maybe we can add that to the mid-game recap
as well. He robs Gabby Sanchez for the first out of the 5th.
I'm sure Greg Cantor is at home smiling ear to ear after that catch. Call Greg Cantor at Murray Lamper Construction. Find out the truth in home remodeling. See why that they're the company to trust. Visit MurrayLampert.com. That's the second half leadoff recap right there, right? You know what I'm saying?
You got it.
Taking away extra bases.
So right there, when you combine offense and defense, Kyle Blanks has accounted, let's say, 6 total bases right there.
Absolutely.
4 of his own, took away 2 right there.
Correct.
From the opposition.
Yep.
Maybe we just created a new sabermetric stat.
I think they've got something like that already. Don't they?
They've thought of everything. You know, it's what's the guy hitting on the road and months that start with A. And,
right.
They've got it. When Mud's wearing a pink tie and pink socks. John Buck has popped to second and grounded to Orlando Hudson at second base. That's off his foot and rolled out to third. Foul ball. One out, bases empty, and the Florida fifth. Each team scored a run in the first. Each team scored in the fourth. The Marlins getting one. The Padres getting two on the Blank's home run. There's a cambio from Wade LeBlanc for his third strikeout. First strikeout since the first inning for Wade.
Nothing helps the psyche more of a pitcher than having a guy like Kyle Blanks make a spectacular play and then getting the next guy like John Buck, who's got some pop, bring him to his knees with the changeup. Two quick outs for Wade LeBlanc.
Third baseman Greg Dobbs has a hit in 2 trips. Fouled back. Dobbs at 36 RBIs on the season. He had a career high 5 RBI game on July 26th of this year at Washington. Pretty good change up to the left-handed hitter.
Looked like that changeup almost had slider action to it, going down and away from the left-handed hitting Dobbs. Look at that last changeup. It looked like it kind of.
It did.
Down and away.
It's pulled foul. LeBlanc over 70 pitches now. He's 0-2 to Dobbs. Right in on him and a soft liner to Bartlett at short. Wade has a 3-up, 3-down inning, his second such inning of the night, and it's a 1-run San Diego.
It's climbing and climbing, Mark. Nearly $53,500 can be yours if a grand slam is hit this inning. How do you register? You got to go to FORSYTHE.com. Good luck.
Thanks, Bud. First pitch to Forsythe popped up into short right, and is caught by Jose Lopez. 1 pitch, 1 out into San Diego fifth.
You know what I like about the Kyle Blanks home run? It was a mistake pitch. He was all over it. He didn't miss it. And it's a home run that matters. Meaning, it put him ahead.
Right.
Right?
Doesn't mean much if you're
down 9-2.
Or up 7 or 8 late.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, big hit in this one has put the Padres in front.
And Volstad was in a little bit of a groove there as well.
Kyle Blank's 4th home run of the year. Anything ago has given the Padres the lead. Repeal down to third and no swing. Down low to Wade, 2-1. Sounds like he broke his bat, but drops it into center field. And the guy who was hitting .380 at AAA. This is his first hit of tonight and his second big league hit of this season.
It looked like he got a Chris Volstad fastball. Yes, he did. Taking it right up the center of the diamond. Pretty good technique there. Nice swing, staying on it. Volstad helped his cause in this game. Let's see, Wade LeBlanc can come around to score. And the Padres tack on.
Top of the order, and Will Venable.
That is an unhittable pitch.
And you go, it's the best pitch for a pitcher, low and away.
Down and away.
Corner.
Down and away. Every time, I don't care who the hitter is, they can't do much with it. You can't get hurt by it. You might flare a single out somewhere, but you cannot get hurt.
So if you're a pitcher, if you can hit the low outside corner,
Eight
say
out of
the
10
high
times.
inside corner,
You're going to be successful.
pretty good locations right there.
And you throw a little bit of wrinkle up there once in a while for strikes, and then for balls, obviously, to have guys chase.
Well, you make it sound so simple.
I know, don't I?
Yeah, I know it's not.
Mix in a little change up every now and then, which I think is probably one of the better pitches in your off-speed arsenal, the changeup. Located fastball, best pitch in baseball, and a changeup.
Belted towards right center field. Cameron has to chase it. Off the fence. You have the pitcher of the block chugging around third. He's going to try to score. The relay home. The tag. Out. We're going to get an argument from Bud.
My goodness. I thought he slapped his hand on home plate before that tag was applied. I'm just glad Wade LeBlanc is getting up from home plate, because that was a head-first slide. That could have been nasty. This ball's rocketed to right center field. Off the top of the fence. And then the relay, here it is. Oh my gosh, clearly safe. Clearly safe. Bad call.
Well, the throw certainly got to the plate area well ahead of LeBlanc, but it was a little bit up the first base side. Yep. And Buck's got to turn, go to his left.
He still hasn't applied the tag yet. His hand's on home plate.
That was the second baseman, Lopez, who made the relay home, and this Petco Park crowd letting plate umpire Larry Vanover. We were about to have play at the plate. Double for Venable. He takes third on the throw home, but there are 2 outs with Bartlett up, and Padre dugout still a bit chapped about that call.
Oh yeah, rightfully so. I think this is the best look, because his hand is on the plate right now, and he still has not applied the tag. I'm just glad he's okay. That was a gnarly slide.
Well, anytime you go headfirst into any base, much less home plate, it's dangerous, especially for a pitcher.
And that was a great athletic slide by Wade LeBlanc. I was anticipating him going to, spikes first, your traditional hook slide towards the, the foul side of home plate. Oh, Buddy's chapped. And like I said, that's a huge run. And that's only one out. If he scores one out, another run, and a runner at third.
Changes the whole complexion of the inning.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got to give it to the Petco Park crowd. I'm proud of them that they're into this.
No question.
Yeah, and the folks in the seats didn't see the replay either, and they're pretty darn sure that the block was safe. That's a rocket foul down the first base side.
Well, frankly, I think we got hosed on that one.
You were mentioning it earlier tonight. What's the name of the guy who played Euchre's sidekick?
Skip Griperis.
And he's from your hometown.
He's from Joliet, Illinois, yeah. Get in
right
there.
side and through. Maybe a little karma coming back to help Bartlett and the Padres as they have a 4-2 lead. Bartlett's 34th run batted in. Brings in Venable.
Well, he battled, and VOLSTAD was throwing sliders away, the check swing during the at-bat, trying to lay off that slider, and he got a fastball that he fought off nicely. Once again, fought it off on the inside part of the plate, beating the shift and scoring Venable.
Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach for the Marlins, is out.
You know, and also this gives LeBlanc a little bit of a breather. He's been up on his feet quite a bit in that dugout.
Yeah, you didn't want to send him right back out to the mound after having to run around the bases and get involved in a play at the plate. I'm curious to see how the fans are going to respond when the inning does end, regardless of how many runs, or this turns out to be the only run the Padres score in the inning, how the fans react to the end of the frame. Bartlett a threat to run with 2 outs. He has 22 steals and 30 attempts. MAYBIN has singled in a run tonight and also grounded out to short.
They just played the charge thing.
Somebody booed it.
People are booing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Popped up, right side. Lopez, the second baseman, wants it.
Here they come.
Now, what I'm about to say may not make much sense. The Padres get a run in the inning, and the Boo Birds are out at Petco Park. Marlins 4-2. That one run they scored in the bottom of the fifth. Most here believe that should have been a crooked number. When LeBlanc called out on the play at the plate, he's back on the mound and pours in a first pitch strike.
Well, he had a little bit of a break, right, in the dugout. Let's see how he responds here in his 6th inning of work. Well, you don't see that too often, huh? Across the Padres there, some dirt. Head first slide. Nice. Like that.
Ripped to left field, and Lopez has his second hit of this game. He doubled in the first, and now he doubles here in the 6th. It's going to bring the tying run to the plate. Well, that play at the plate, a freeze camp brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Just in case there was any doubt, Cameron to Lopez, the relay. Doug's got to go to his left. And the freeze cam says safe.
Absolutely.
You know, for a second there, when Larry Vanover hopped, I thought he was going to throw out the safe side, but then he kind of clutched and pulled him out. Here's Mike Cameron. A high strike. Cameron fanned his first time looking, but then singled leading off the 4th and later scored. High fly right center field. MAYBIN meanders over into the alley to make the catch. Tagging is Lopez. He will advance to third with one out. So Cameron does advance the base runner, and Lopez at third. One away for Petersen.
Yeah, I don't think there's many outfielders out there that could have camped into that one and tried to make a throw into third base. Even Ichiro or Dave Parker. Give me another one. Dwight Evans.
Ellis Valentine.
Ellis Valentine.
Larry Walker had a pretty good hose out in right field.
Yes, he did.
Larry Cameron is up in the San Diego bullpen. Pitch up high for ball one to Petersen.
Candy Maldonado.
The MLB Network the other night showed memorable throws from right field, and I had forgotten this one. Jose Guillen
Really?
made one from basically the right field fence right to the third base bag. I'm trying to think of the game. I want to say it happened in Anaheim, but I might be mistaken on that. But he was not a guy that I remembered as having a great arm, but he made a great throw. There's the changeup.
Lefty on lefty changeup, down and in. That's a good pitch. You know, back in the day, righty on righty, lefty on lefty, I was always taught, don't throw that changeup. No, you know, it goes right into their wheelhouse. But if you take enough off, it works to your advantage. And it did right there for Wade. How about, you know, I'm talking about throws from the outfield. I'll bet you $1. One of the top ones. Remember Rick Ankiel's throw in Colorado?
Oh, yeah. In fact, he had back-to-back games, or in that same game, he had two throws from center field to third base that were unbelievable.
On the fly.
Remember Dave Parker's throw in the All-Star game? Clementi's from the '71 World Series, which he actually didn't get the out at third. It was a very good throw. Here come the Bluebirds. That borderline inside pitch goes to Petersen. 2-2. What happened to that changeup?
Worked underneath it a little bit. Got away from him. He wants it down and away, but just sometimes that changeup will float out of the hand a little bit too soon. not getting it out in front. The cutter down and away here.
Missed with it, and he walks Petersen, and runners are at the corners. Let's go to interleague play. Throws from right field. How about Ichiro gunning down Josh Bard? Actually, that was Barfield at the plate.
Oh, I remember that one.
Kenji Jojima.
He got knocked in the next week, didn't he? Held on to it, though.
Got knocked back to Japan. He actually did go back to Japan, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Retired from the major leagues and went back to the Japanese leagues. At the corners, one out for Alfredo AMEZAGA, and Petersen draws a throw. AMEZAGA has fly to center, pop to second. Everybody remembers Clemente. The great arms from right field. I believe this one is at Wrigley.
Yeah. Look, you know what I love? The cloud of dust. You never see that anymore because, you know, they're watering down the infield and dragging the infields, different composites. That was a cannon throw right there from Clemente.
When did they start watering down the infield before games? Maybe Luke Yoder knows the history of baseball groundskeeping. We can ask him. Well, a 2-on count on AMEZAGA. The tying runs are on base. With one out here in the Florida 6th. We have the pitcher spot due up next for the Marlins, and Volstad is in the on-deck circle. There is a right-hander, Hatcher, though, up in the Florida bullpen. In the Padre bullpen, Thatcher, the lefty, and Hammered, the right-hander. Two and one on Alfredo AMEZAGA, who was a late entrant into the lineup when they scratched Mike Stanton. 3-1.
And Wade LeBlanc trying to off-speed him, trying to get him to hit a grounder in the infield. AMEZAGA's only grounded to one double play this year in the short time that he's been with the Marlins.
Leadoff double by Jose Lopez. Cameron's fly ball to center put Lopez at third. Petersen walked. They're at the corners with one out. 3-1 to AMEZAGA off the end of the bat down the line and right, and slicing foul. Think they'll start Petersen from first here?
They may. And remember, with LeBlanc on the mound, they usually go on first move. Nope.
Not running, and the pitch low. That's going to load him up, and now the Marlins are going to call VOLSTAD back and employ a pinch hitter. Well, Stanton, who is a scratch from the lineup due to a foot injury that occurred when he ran into the auxiliary scoreboard in right field last night, available to bat on the bench. And if you're Jack McKeon and you've got this weapon on your bench, why not at this point? LeBlanc comes out.
You know, I'm surprised they brought him out this early, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you about that point, and we can talk more about it in just a moment, but we come to our pitching change brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. LeBlanc finished after 5 1/3. Food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Right-hander Eric Cameron is in.
Last time out for Eric was against the Mets a few days ago. An inning, 13 pitches, and with each time out, Eric Cameron, he was a little bit more comfortable out on that mound, and the numbers reflect just that. Only 2 hits surrendered, 7 1/3 innings pitched. And I was thinking, you know, I made that point before we went to break.
About Stanton?
Yeah, and you know what? Looking at the bench of the Marlins and looking at the opportunity here, one swing of the bat put 4 runs up. This might be the only opportunity Jack McKeon's thinking, you know what, this is my guy.
That's what I was thinking. Why not right here?
Initially, I thought, well, you know, maybe it's a little early. You know, there's still a lot of baseball left, but
you can't pitch around him here.
Exactly.
Stanton 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. His second in the National League with 29 home runs. Now, the injury to his foot occurred when he's chasing this drive off the bat of Hundley. Watch the foot. That very bottom area is just concrete, and he slammed that left foot into the concrete. That's why he was a late scratch from the lineup tonight. Towards third and foul. Marlins have hit 6 grand slams this year as a team. They have not allowed a grand slam this year. Ooh. Good play by Hundley to keep that from getting away.
You know, especially on a breaking ball like that, a slider down, that ball's going to check up. Watch as this ball hits. It has a tendency to check back up the other way because of the rotation. That ball, like Velcro, into the glove of Nick Hundley. Hart's got to skip a little bit right there as a catcher, huh?
I bet. Hammered on in relief. Padres leading by 2, but the Marlins with the bases loaded, 1 out, and Stanton strikes out on a slider. So Jack McKeon going to Stanton here in the 6th with the bases loaded, and he fans.
Great location all the way around for Eric Cameron. Nice tight slider. You can't get beat there. You know, when he threw that first pitch fastball in the outside corner with authority for the strike, he had a great idea how to set him up. He set him up perfectly.
Top of the order as they're loaded with 2 outs for Bonifacio. Bonifacio fan to begin the game. In the second, he walked, and in the fourth, hit the ball sharply, but lined out to the right fielder, Will Venable. Two and 0. Our bases loaded, 2 outs. If you're Bonifacio, and we've talked about how aggressive normally the Marlins are. Are you taking a strike here, or are you swinging away?
Me personally, I want to make him throw a strike. Yeah. How aggressive these guys are, you never know.
3-0. You know he's taken now.
Oh, yeah.
And a 4-pitch walk to Bonifacio will force hit Lopez and make it a 1-run game. Garrett Balsley takes the trot to the mound.
Sometimes pitchers get in that mode and they have their backs up against the wall like Hammer did. You start to squeeze a little bit, start to aim it a little bit rather than letting it fly. And then that last pitch, 3-0 pitch, wasn't even close.
Bass has gotten up in the Padres bullpen, joining the lefty Thatcher. Padres lead down to a single run, and they're loaded up for Gabby Sanchez. There's the first pitch strike. All 3 Florida runs tonight have scored with 2 outs. Hammerin trying to limit the damage here in the 6th to a single run. A foul at the plate runs it to 0-2.
You know, it's frustrating for a pitcher. Obviously now, you know, you're walking in that run is frustrating, but you're letting in one of the runs from Wade LeBlanc, right? Take pride in leaving those inherited runners out there.
Hammerin had not allowed an inherited runner to score in his relatively brief Padres time until tonight. He'd inherited a couple of runners prior to that without allowing them to score. Inherited 3 here. 1 has come in. 1-2 to Sanchez. Got him. Right to slider. And Sanchez fans to win the inning. But the Marlins do get a run. They leave him loaded and have now stranded 8. studio with Jenny Kavanaugh and Bob Scanlon tonight. Get away for the day at Sequan Casino. Padres come up in the home half of the 6th and face a new hurler, Chris Hatcher.
Well, Volstad kept him close. Hands the ball over to Hatcher. Fastball slider and a change. This guy used to be a catcher.
Converted catcher, was in the big leagues briefly last year with the Marlins as a catcher. They converted him to pitching in the offseason, and here he is in the big leagues already as a pitcher. Pretty amazing story, really.
You think about being a catcher behind the plate, setting up hitters, right? But now you're 60 feet, 6 inches in the other direction. Whole different perspective for Chris Hatcher. He throws mid-90s.
He's got a good fastball. Kenley Jansen, converted catcher for the Dodgers. Jason Mott of the Cardinals is a converted catcher. Well, Hatcher last year.
Yeah, he just went to his mouth when he was on the rubber.
Should be a ball.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Mark.
Well, you catch the nuances of the game. That's your job.
Yeah, now the new rule is you can be on the dirt and go to your mouth. You have to wipe, but he was in direct contact with the rubber right there, and then he went to his mouth. Got the Al Raboski mustache.
I was going to say either Raboski or the Dick Tidrow.
Dick Tidrow's a good one.
Foul back.
That's a very good one.
Hatcher last year had a 9th inning walk-off home run for the Marlins Double-A team to win the Southern League Championship. Yes. Stash-wise, pretty similar with the Hall of Famer Goose. Three and two. Hatcher had 6 at-bats in the big leagues last year, and he fanned 5 times.
That'll put you on the mound.
So then the conversion began. But really, right. what a story.
It's a great story.
Popped up left side, and the shortstop on Bonifacio. One out in the Padres 6th.
Well, I know we talk about it quite a bit, and it's fitting that Sunday is going to be the retirement of Trevor Hoffman's number, but Trevor being a shortstop and converted, into a pitcher. I mean, that's a great story in itself. That story never gets old.
Well, several of those conversions from catching to pitching we talked about were guys that were in the minor leagues, switched in the minors to the mound. The fact that Hatcher actually made the big leagues as a catcher last year and converted to pitching is in the big leagues this year is unique. Hudson, base hit to right, his first hit of the game. A 1-out 6th inning single. Hatcher is the first player to make the big leagues at a position, come back as a pitcher and make the big leagues since Art Dahl from the Boston Braves in the 1930s.
Yeah, I never saw him play.
To come up as a catcher and make it as a catcher in the big leagues, to come back as a pitcher. Yeah, I missed Art.
Yeah.
Kyle Blanks deposited one into the second deck in left his last time up, which took the Padres from 1 down to 1 up. They're 1 up again here in the 6th. Chad Qualls up now in the Padres bullpen. Last time up for Kyle Blanks in the 4th inning. This is with a man on and 2 outs. His 4th of the season. RBIs 11 and 12. His 4th in the big leagues this season.
You can tell by the way Hatcher throws the ball. He really doesn't have that big follow through. He's kind of a short armor type, and you can see after watching his arm action, oh yeah, you can see that he was a catcher, the way he throws the ball.
Past the mound, Lopez flipped for 1 and the first a pair. Marlins turn their 100th double play of the season. After 6 for Petco Park, the Padres lead it by a run. Southern California's premier dental implant center by MTS. MTS moves me. And by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego County Cadillac dealer for an attractive lease or purchase offer. Glad you could join us on this Friday night. Mark Neely with Mark Grant. And now on the hill for the Padres is Chad Qualls.
And Chad Qualls has the turbo sinker and hopefully keep these Padres close within 1 run. Bottom of the order, I'm sorry, take that back. Middle of the order, Buck, Dobbs, and Lopez. So some tough company for the right-hander. Righty, lefty, righty.
Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Padres. 3, 6, and 1 for the Marlins. Florida's stranded 8 on base so far. The Padres have left only 2. Buck is fanned, grounded out, and popped out. 0 for 3. Qualls, the third Padres pitcher. LeBlanc went 5 1/3. Hammer in 2/3 of an inning. Foul back this way, and it's 0-2.
Whoa, a little backup slider there. Did you see that?
Boy, Hundley really had to shift.
That was either a backup slider or mislocation. Let's check it out. Kind of tough to tell.
Well, definitely had some run in.
Yeah. And it didn't bite like a true sinker from Chad Qualls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a slider.
Two and two. Jammed him and on the ground to Bartlett at shorts. One gone in the Fish 7th. Let's answer tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Tonight's question: which member of the Florida Marlins coaching staff is the son of a Baseball Hall of Famer? And the answer, their hitting coach, Eduardo Perez, whose dad Tony also works for the Marlins. There's Eduardo. Yeah, Tony actually managed the Marlins for a little while. He's Hall of Famer who spent the majority of his career with the Cincinnati Reds.
Boy, he could hit, huh?
Oh, Tony?
That
clutch.
That
hey, we talk about clutch hitters.
Yeah.
Tony Perez was a clutch hitter, man.
Big red machine.
His dad played in 5 World Series, 4 of them with the Reds. The Reds in 75 and 76, they were, for good reason, called the Big Red Machine. They were a machine, man. Foul past third. Look at their everyday lineup. Incredible. You know, they weren't the greatest pitching team.
No,
but boy, their offense and their defense really made up for it. Dobbs has a single and 3 at-bats. To the first baseman, Jesus Guzman. 2 down. When we went to Fenway earlier this year, what was one of the things you had to have thought about when we walked into Fenway Park?
You know, we talked about that. The first thing when I see Fenway is the Carlton Fisk home run.
Right. That and Reggie Jackson being pulled into the visiting dugout by Billy Martin.
Yep, and almost get into a fight.
Lopez rocks one towards the alley in left center. Blanks! Could not hang on. Picked up by MAYBIN, but not before Lopez slides into second. Where the 88 train had to go a ways, and it had that baseball for a moment or two.
I was really surprised he got a glove on it. Oh, he had it. He had it in the webbing.
He did.
And then on contact with the turf, it came loose. Great effort there, Kyle. Oh, that's got to be so frustrating. Huh.
It's a 2-out double for Lopez, his 3rd double of the night. He has 3 of these 7 Florida hits. And the tying run is at second with 2 outs for Mike Cameron. Cameron singled leading off the 4th and scored. That's a strike. Mike Cameron, 17 years in the big leagues with his 8th different team. 3-time Gold Glover, including with the Padres in 2006. Cameron hit 43 home runs in 2 seasons combined with the Padres back in 06 and 07. Ball's 2-1. Slider. Levels it at 2-2.
That was an elevated slider as well. Not one of those nasty ones like, you know, knee high in the outside part of the plate. It was a very hittable slider.
2-2 pitch to Cameron. That will leave play right side.
Big pitch right here. Big
huge pitch. We have a left-handed hitter, Petersen, on deck. Big strikeout for Qualls. He gets it with the slider. A 2-out double by Lopez, representing the tying run. He's stranded, and the Marlins have now left 9. Brian McCann hit a 2-run shot as the Braves beat the D-backs 4-2. Dodgers over the Rockies 8-2. Junior had a solo home run tonight.
Wow.
Number 2 on the year for Tony Gwynn Jr. How about the Cubs today? Got rid of GM Jim Hendry.
I did. You know what? I'm usually on my computer looking at stuff. I haven't been on for a while. I did not hear that. When did that happen? Earlier today?
Just today, yeah. First pitch swinging. Hundley breaks his bat to short. Bonifacio down the line, safe.
Now, as soon as this ball was hit, broken bat, it's not hit that sharply, and then a little bit of a. Oh, he got. You know what? Nick Hundley tapped the bag with his tiptoe. Watch, he misses it there, and then drags his foot a little bit, catches the bag. Originally, when I saw it,
thought he missed it.
I thought that he had missed the bag, but the toe tap gets the pillow there at first.
I would think that'd be a little tough. By the way, that's an error on Bonifacio. It's kind of a tough maneuver to do, wouldn't it? To do a little.
It would be.
To all of a sudden just drag that back foot or the left foot. Second error charge to the Marlins defense tonight. The other one assessed to the third baseman Dobbs back in the third. Forsythe shortens up and takes outside. Long look down to Lynn Hoffman at third. Forsythe lets it go, and the fastball is just off the outside corner. Logan has one sacrifice bunt so far in his 51 previous games with the Padres. That rolls foul.
Well, we were talking arm action a little bit ago about Chris Hatcher. Well, on the left is Chris VOLSTAD. See the big arm swing out of the glove? I mean, he brings it, he drops it down. Hatcher, the former catcher, it's very subtle, but out of the glove, see that little hitch there? And as a catcher, what's your objective? Get the ball behind home plate.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it as quickly as you can. Very subtle, but I think you can see the difference in the arm action out of the glove of Hatcher as opposed to VOLSTAD.
Definitely so. A catcher obviously can't wind up,
right,
take all that time and throw down to second base. So you would assume the muscle memory he's built up over all those years.
Exactly.
It's going to tighten up that arm.
You know what?
Runner goes, and it's swinging. Forsythe fouls it 2-2.
You talk about pitchers who had really short arm action. Do you remember Keith Folk?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, he was like straight quarterback.
But he, unlike
up to his ear.
Hatcher, was a big changeup guy.
Right, exactly.
Padres switched off there, tried to hit and run.
I like it. Big hole on that right side.
Full count. Padres lead by a run here in the 7th. Lefty Spence and right-hander Gregerson watch it from the Padres bullpen. Bullpen coach Darryl Ackerfeld's there on the right.
Those flowers look like they can use some water.
Hundley takes off, and it's ball 4 outside. So an error and a walk, and it's 2 on nobody out of the Padres 7th. Former Padre Ryan Webb up in the Marlins bullpen, as is Michael Dunn. Well, the pitcher spot due up for the Padres. Roberto Gonzalez will pinch hit for San Diego. For 10 as a pinch hitter this year. Marlins come in at the corners, expecting a bunt. Really starting against a possible bunt from Gonzalez. He does shorten up. Hatcher hasn't missed by much with that fastball on the outside corner a few times in this inning. That one, ball 1.
Well, the idea here is you want to draw that third baseman in. You want Dobbs to field that baseball to get the runners over to second and third.
1 sack bunt this year for Gonzalez.
Avoid the force out at third base.
Oh. 2-0.
Might change the plan a little bit.
Well,
here,
I was going to ask you, do you roll the dice a little bit and let him take the swing away here?
I like, you're up by a run. I would like to at least get those runners over. I would still have the bunt on. You hit one on the ground, you roll into a double play, that's 2 outs.
That's a rally killer for
sure.
sure.
You've got the chance to put up a crooked number here and the makings of a big inning. I like the bunt still being on.
Well, that meeting on the mound was just to buy some time. Here comes Jack McKeon. He wants the right-hander, Ryan Webb. So Webb's going to inherit a 2-0 count on the pinch hitter Alberto Gonzalez. So we'll take a timeout as Chris Hatcher's night ends with the Padres threatening here in the 7th. Where you can enjoy quality fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week.
Well, different right-hander. You know, Chris Hatcher, kind of a straight fastball. Didn't really have a lot of sink. Kind of a straight fastball at 94, 95. Well, a different fastball from Ryan Webb. Hard power sinker at 95 to 97. Be a difficult pitch to bunt if, in fact, Alberto Gonzalez has the bunt sign on here with the count 2-0. As you mentioned earlier, Ryan Webb inherits a 2-0 count.
So with Webb, if he were to walk Gonzalez, the walk would actually be charged to Hatcher. Any other outcome, and that belongs to Webb. So a 2-0 count on the pinch hitter Alberto Gonzalez. 2 on, nobody out. Padres leading 4-3 in the home half of the 7th. Still looking to bunt. And Webb's sinker is low. Ryan Webb just came off the disabled list on Wednesday. He had some right shoulder inflammation. Taking a strike. Have made a combined 82 relief appearances over the last 2 seasons while with the Padres. Three one.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, Larry Vanover was a little delayed on that call, wasn't he?
He was.
That wasn't a bunt. That was a chop. I really chopped at that pitch. Difficult to bunt that sinker. Watch the bat head. Oh. Not a good attempt.
Well, full count. Well, that'll be it out at second. No throw to first. Sanchez will get it to Bonifacio to force Forsythe. So Gonzalez gets half the job done there. He advances 1 runner. And it's first and third, 1 out.
Well, he got the sinker in on the fist, that's for sure. Couldn't do much with that pitch, but the ground ball to the right side. And Jack is having a little stroll out to the mound again.
They have the lefty Venable coming up for the Padres. They've had the lefty Dunn going in the Marlins bullpen. And that's who we're going to see for Florida. So another Marlins pitching change. We'll step aside again here in the Padres 7th.
Left side, 95 to 96. Pretty straight fastball. And the walks are an issue. You see the walks here, 30 walks at 55 and 2/3 innings pitched. A little too high. So the Padre hitters have to be patient here. Oh, going way back.
That's a busy lid he's got going
there,
too.
I was going to say, the thing must weigh about 3 or 4 pounds with all those pins. My goodness.
Padres counter the lefty Dunn with Darren Cunningham to bat for Venable. First and third, 1 out. 4-3 Padres in the 7th. A rip at the 94-mile-per-hour fastball, strike 1. Each team with 7 hits. Each team scored a run in the first. Each team scored in the fourth. Florida with 1. The Padres with 2 on the Blanks homer. Padres led 4-2 with a run in the 5th. Marlins got that run back in the 6th. Pitch hitter Aaron Cunningham wants to stay out of the double play, and I assume Bud would like a pitch he could elevate here.
Well, a hard thrower, but it doesn't matter how hard you throw it. If it's straight, these hitters like it. And Dunn throws a straight fastball. Not a lot of movement.
Dunn came over from Atlanta in the offseason. He and Omar Infante swapped by the Braves to the Marlins in the Dan Uggla deal. Down low, Buck pops up. Looking Gonzalez back to first. He uses the caller. Charlie O'Brien was the first guy I remember that wore the hockey type mask as a catcher.
He's got his own design. It looks like he's made up there.
Does. Well, he was with Toronto. That's more kind of a Blue Jays color scheme there. Full count. Cunningham batting for Venable. 3-2 pitch for Mike Dunn. Instead, a check on Gonzalez to see if he may be on the move. We'll do it again.
He had a good fastball to rip at. Middle in at 95. It's straight as a string, though.
$26,065 tonight here at Petco.
We're in a peek hit at John Buck fastball. Inner part of the plate.
Popped up short right. Catch is made by Lopez. Throw comes home, and holding is Hundley.
Well, Mike Dunn did a nice job of hitting his spot. John Buck put down the #1 on contact. Yeah, you betcha. He got in the kitchen of Aaron Cunningham. Just a difficult time for AC to get that top hand on top of that good fastball. Could not catch up to it. You put 95. And then you put it on the inner half for a right-hander. That's a tough combination to make it work.
And that looked like Dunn's best located fastball of the sequence.
It did, yep.
Here's Jason Bartlett, the shortstop. He knocked in a run with a base hit his last time up in the 5th. Lays off the high fastball for ball 1. Jason's RBI single in the 5th gave him his 34th RBI. An error began the inning, then a walk. Padres had 2 on, nobody out. It's 2 on, 2 outs. Dunn gets the high strike this time on the fastball, and it's 1-1. Bit inside, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, with a guy who throws hard like Dunn and Bartlett, I kind of like the matchup. He can fight off pitches, right?
Because Jason's a smart enough hitter not to try to do too much here.
In fact, I envisioned something like a broken bat, little duck snort down the right field line, you know?
That's to left and hit well. AMEZAGA, though, will run it down. Well, it wasn't a duck snort. Gave the crowd a little bit of a thrill, but the Padres strand 2 in the 7th. season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Padres game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Several changes for the Padres, including a new hurler, Josh Spence.
The magician, Josh Spence. A couple of outings where he had some adversity to face, but overall the numbers look great for the left-hander. Only 8 hits in 22+ innings. And you know what? After he was going through some changes as far as like walking some people, as Alberto Gonzalez goes into play short, I had a chance to talk with his college coach at Central Arizona. Yeah. And he said as AC goes into right field that mechanically he said he was bending too much at the waist on his follow through. And it was throwing off his mechanics. So let's see if he makes an adjustment tonight.
Leave it to somebody like an old coach that knows you from way back when to say, hey, you can tweak this a little bit. Yeah. Spence, by the way, batting inserted into the 2 spot in the order vacated by Bartlett, who made the final out of the last inning. Petersen leading off the Florida 8th. It's the bottom 3 for the Fish. Petersen double to right, leading off the 2nd, and walked in the 6th. He's been on base twice. Well, that hit him on the right elbow. He's got the padding there.
I think he makes some. Is there an effort there to get out of the way?
Not much of one. But rarely do you ever see a home plate umpire.
I'd like to see more of it.
Sounds like you would.
I mean, let's take a look. I mean, okay, you know, Josh Spence was throw 68 miles an hour, so you got plenty of time to realize where the pitch is. And that elbow guard, that's another thing I do away with.
No armor at the plate.
No. Nope. Now, the ones on the feet and the ankles, that's fine.
You just don't like the stuff
on the elbows? No.
AMEZAGA 0 for 2 with a walk. Forsythe at third, near the edge of the grass in case AMEZAGA is bunting, and he does shorten up and takes high, and that will send Hundley out to the mound to talk to Spence. Switch hitting AMEZAGA. Lays down the bunt. Hundley going to go for the lead man. Got him. Well, I tell you, that was bang close at second base.
Yes, it was.
And I thought for a moment second base umpire Dan Bellino may flash that safe sign. Unfortunately, he did not.
Well, this late in the ball game, you always want to try to get that lead runner. Ball kind of checks up on the dirt for Nick Hundley. And the thing is, you just have to throw a strike. It's a force play, right? And you know, it's a high throw. You know what, Mark, as an umpire, you've got to, you know, you're listening for the ball in the glove. You're watching. I mean, he's clearly out from that angle. But still, that's got to be a tough call for an umpire. A bang play like that, a force play. Because it's not a tag play.
Hayes announced as a pinch hitter for the Marlins, a right-handed bat. So the Padres will bring out Luke Gregerson. So we'll take a timeout as the Padres look deeper into their bullpen. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at Mossy.com.
Well, Luke Gregerson toes the slab again. He was out there last night for an inning surrender, a hit and a walk. And with Brett Hayes coming up, right-handed pinch hitter. Righty on righty.
Looks now like they're going to bat for Hayes. Hayes has been announced.
So they burned him.
They burn him, and the left-handed hitting Wise, Dwayne Wise, will bat instead. So the one left-handed bat available on the bench tonight for Jack McKeon, used here. Wise batting for Hayes.
So one bench player left, Ozzie Martinez for the Marlins.
Tying run at first with one out in the Marlins' eighth. Luke gets the call on the outside corner. Over 5 years of big league time for Dwayne Wise. In his first season with the Marlins. Came up with Toronto in 2000. Was also played in the big leagues with the Braves, Reds, and White Sox. One of the things Wise will forever be known for is the great catch he made to help preserve the Mark Burley perfect game.
Oh, yeah. Going up and over, right?
Oh, he had just entered the game as a defensive replacement. And Rob Gabe Kapler.
Remember, we were in Buddy's office in Philadelphia.
You're right, watching that.
Yeah.
At Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
It was July 23rd of '09. Burley did a perfect game against the Rays with the help of Dwayne Wise. Ken the Hawk Harrelson, who does the play-by-play on TV, former big league player, let out a few mercies after that catch.
You think?
And I'm paraphrasing, but I think the Hawks said, under the circumstances, the best catch he'd ever seen.
Yeah, under the circumstances.
Yeah. Saved a perfect game.
Alexei.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Dwayne Wise.
Remember that ground ball to Alexi Ramirez at short for the final out.
Yes. Yes.
That was a heck of a ninth inning, though.
Two-two pitch. Staying alive.
Have you ever witnessed a perfect game?
No.
Really?
No hitter. But never a perfect game. You?
A buddy of mine threw in a Double-A, Texas League, Shreveport, Louisiana, captains against the Arkansas Travelers in Arkansas.
Into left field, a base hit for Wise. So the tying run, AMEZAGA down to second. And the go-ahead run is at first in Wise. Was that at Fairgrounds Field in Shreveport?
No, it was at in Arkansas.
At old Ray Winder Field.
Ray Winder Field, right. In fact, you know who dove in right field to make the catch for the final out?
Who would that be?
Rob Deere.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice. Rob go yard in that game?
I know he struck out.
I don't think one or the other.
I don't think he went yard, but I think he struck out at least twice.
Top of the order, Bonifacio picked up an RBI on a bases loaded walk in his last plate appearance. This may be a pair. Bonifacio runs well and beats it out.
Man, did he get down that line?
He was flying. Broke his bat. They get the force out of Wise at second, and it's first and third, 2 outs.
My goodness. As soon as that ball was tossed to Orlando Hudson on the force at second base, I was focused on Bonifacio, and he was like a stride away from the bag. And you know what? He's running inside the baseline as well. He's got a longer distance to run. If you stay on that chalk line,
you got to cut back to your
exactly.
right.
I've never understood that, why guys do that.
Gabby Sanchez with the tying run at third. A step to third and a look to first move by Luke. Big rip and a miss at the Gregerson slider.
That's got to be the disappearing slider. I mean, that thing just drops. It's not a hard biting slider. It just great rotation and great location, and it keeps it down. It just bites. Disappearing. And it's not an overpowering one either.
Now you see it, now you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Fouled by the plate, 0-2. Gregerson came on and faced the pinch hitter Wise, who singled. Bonifacio a fielder's choice. Luke trying to keep this a 1-run Padres lead in the top of the 8th.
Slider?
Be my guess.
Gotta be.
0-2 pitch. On the ground is short. Gonzalez to Hudson for the forced play to win the inning. The Marlins strand 2 more. They've now left 11. Best event from Cadillac. Get exceptional offers on the entire Cadillac lineup, including the versatile SRX crossover. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealer today. Well, we saw Ryan Webb earlier. Now we see the other former Padre who was involved in the Cameron Maybin trade. Here's Emu, Edward Mojica.
His last outing, he left his appearance with a strained right lat. That was after throwing it in the third. It was at Colorado. He was back on August 15th. But he's pitched well since May 28th. 4-2, an ERA of 1.72. And if you remember, Edward throws a fastball, a split, and a slider.
Dwayne Wise stays in the game and takes over in left field for Florida. Well, here's the guy he was traded for, Cameron Maybin. Looked like he went 0-2.
Well, the Marlins pitching staff has been giving Cameron Maybin a heavy dose of sliders down and away.
Saw Wise, who's in left, and AMEZAGA, who is in left, has moved to second base. Lopez, who was at second, has gone to first. So Gabby Sanchez is the one who has exited the lineup for Florida. 1-2 pitch to Maybin. And a strikeout for Mujica. We'll bring up GUZMAN, who has singled tonight, tripled last night. Leads us to our leaderboard, brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. How about this? The Padres lead the National League in triples on the season with 34. Padres have 5 triples in their last 5 games coming in.
And some of those triples are guys you wouldn't expect, right? Like Nick Hundley.
3 from Hundley.
Yeah.
In the last 5 days for Nick. One for 3 tonight is GUZMAN. For 3 Padres, though Florida has out-hit San Diego 8-7. But the Marlins have left 11. The Padres have stranded 4.
That's the killer there, huh? 11 left on base.
There's that around.
There's that changeup that Edward Mujica throws. I called it El Diablo because it was like a pitchfork. Called it like a pitchfork.
You know, seeing Mujica for the last couple of years, you've seen the good stuff he's had. He was victimized by the home run ball in an inordinate amount of times last year. On the ground at third, near the bag, and foul. Remember when Mujica joined the Padres right at the end of spring training in 09, how the Padre bullpen was just completely transformed at the end of spring training in 2009. Heath Bell was one of the few guys that was there the entire spring that broke camp in the Padre bullpen that year. 2-2. Of course, Gregerson was a part of that transformation as they completed the trade with the Cardinals and got Luke. 2-2 in the dirt and a full count. Towards the hole, the cutoff by Dobbs, who spins and throws, and out by a step is GUZMAN. 2 outs to the San Diego 8th. Now looking ahead to the Marlins 9th, the Padres will carry at least a 1-run lead to the 9th for Heath. Florida will have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. Buck, Dobbs, a lefty, and Lopez. Cameron due up 4th in the inning. They have only 1 available bat on their bench, and that's Martinez.
Hey! Hockey suit.
Mujica winds up on the turf in front of the mound and picks himself up after that Line drive past him off the bat of O'Dog.
He talked about right back at you. Whoa. Kind of tough to tell there, but that was almost like head high, neck high. And Orlando Hudson's like, my goodness, that was too close for comfort.
Yeah, that actually tailed behind Mujica, like
yeah,
past his right ear.
Yep.
It's even at 8 aside now. Kyle Blank's 2-run home run in the 4th. The big blast for the Padres tonight. Orlando, who has a career-high 16 steals and 19 attempts, may have running on his mind here with 2 away. First the way Kyle Blanks hit one in the 4th inning. You might not want to risk taking the bat out of his hands here.
That's true.
Hudson bluffs like he's going, and Mujica paints that low outside corner. Slowly to short, charged by Bonifacio. His plays at first, low but out, dug out by Lopez. They're hitting the man left on. Last chance for Florida. Heath will face Buck, Dobbs, and Lopez when we come back. Your Padres honor the all-time saves leader Trevor Hoffman in a special pregame retirement ceremony. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime event. Get your tickets before they're gone at Padres.com/Trevor. The guy who inherited the closer's reins from Trevor Hoffman comes on. Heath Bell.
Trying to record his 34th save of the year. We saw his 33rd last night. It was an easy 1-2. Well, they're not easy. Not all of them, but in succession. 1-2-3 last night. The 9th, he retired Cameron, Buck, and Lopez in the 3-1 victory.
Buck and Lopez due up in this 9th inning tonight. Buck, then Dobbs, and Lopez.
And if it wasn't for the scratch of Stanton, John Buck, remember he was lower in the lineup.
Right.
And he bats in the number 3 spot when Stanton was scratched.
Buck 0 for 4. 96-mile-per-hour fastball fouled back off of Hundley. Couple of ground outs. He has struck out once and popped out once. Buck has in his 0 for 4 night. It's the curveball foul. Keith Bell is the 6th Padres pitcher of the night. LeBlanc started and went 5 1/3, followed by Hamrin, Qualls, Spence, Gregerson, and now Heath. Next swing and he holds up. Each team scored a run in the first. Marlins took the lead back with one in the fourth. Lynx hit his 2-run homer in the bottom of the fourth. Padres have led since then. San Diego won in the fifth. The Marlins got one back in the sixth. 4-3 Padres in the ninth. Just outside with the fastball.
He's got the good heater still. Back-to-back nights. That one was registered at 96. And you know, John Buck, he's a strong Buck, isn't he?
He is.
I mean, he's got power to all fields, but he's trying to keep the ball away from the catcher.
He does again. 97 that time, but it's 3-2. Bluebirds are back. They came out in force earlier in the game when LeBlanc was called out at the plate. A play at the plate. The replay showed that he had gotten in. It was called out back in the fifth. Goes to a 3-2 curveball, and it's inside for ball 4, and the tying run is on. The lefty is up, Greg Dobbs. How do the Marlins want to play this on the road?
Well, usually, you know, they tie it home, win on the road, right?
So he should be swinging away.
Should be swinging.
Forsythe has crept in at third to the edge of the grass. Fastball inside the Dobbs.
I think he may have got squeezed a little bit on that one.
Well, I think Hundley was set up away, and he missed the spot. But that was right. That was a strike.
And when you got a guy who throws that hard and the catcher has to reach across his body there on the other side, kind of draws it out, right?
Gives the illusion that perhaps it was not a strike, right? The track said it was. One pitch. A high fly left center field. Trotting over is MAYBIN. MAYBIN had to go a pretty good ways in the left center field to get that, but the ball was hit so high, he just kind of cruised on over with his speed.
Ball slicing too, huh?
This is the first out of the ninth. Well, the guy who has had a big night for the Marlins offensively is up. Jose Lopez. Lopez 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. Been done a bunch of times, but no Marlin has ever had a 4-double game, and he certainly, from our perspective, is not the time and place to see him set that record. One on, one out in the Florida ninth. Buck led off the inning with a walk. That's in the air to center field. MAYBIN. He's there. 2 down.
I was just going to say, Blanks and Maybin playing on the deeper side. Blanks playing much deeper than Maybin in center. Kyle was only a few feet, maybe 5 to 8 feet away from that warning track. So nothing over their heads.
Marlins down to their last out. And here's Mike Cameron, the center fielder. A single leading off the fourth and scored. Fastball. Like he tried to check late, but goes around. Strike one. Right back to the heat, and the Marlins are down to their final strike.
He is saying, here it is. Have at it. 2 fastballs.
Fastball hit in the air to center, still carrying, but Maybin on the edge of the warning track makes the catch. Heath Bell, his 34th save, and the Padres win it 4-3. Cam Maybin.